But Celtics, they really go ham in the playoffs. You got to say they do. I mean, they were fourth, fifth seed last season. They were one game away from the finals, and they beat OKC this year, so they would have faced OKC in the finals. So they might have won it. You never know, but it does happen. So I think Celtics will win in 6 because Knicks aren't really that great of a playoff team. I mean, 2 years ago they got swept by the Boston Celtics. Last year, they lost in 5 games to Miami Heat. And the one game they did win, which was Game 4, I don't think they should have won it. I think they got lucky. So, yeah, I just think they got lucky. And the next series I want to talk about is Indiana versus Atlanta Hawks. This series is actually going to be good. Everybody thinks Indiana's going to win. Season series was tied at 2. Indiana lost the first one, 109-100. And then they won the next one, 100-94. So this is going to be a good series, back and forth in the season series. Atlanta won the next game, and then Indiana won the next game. So this is going to be tough for both teams. But Indiana, great defense, we all know that. I think Indiana will win in 6 or 7 games. They just play great. I travel to Atlanta a lot, so if I had to choose, I would pick Atlanta to win. But I think Indiana's going to win. Another game that's going on, which I think is going to be great. A lot of people don't think so, but I do. Chicago versus Brooklyn. They're both great teams. The time that they faced, it was just so close. I'm going to tell you those right now. The scores were so close to each other. Brooklyn won the first one, 87-84. That's crazy. And then, and then the next game, Chicago won 83-82. Isn't that crazy? 1 point, by 1 point. Next game, Brooklyn won 93-89. Only a 2-possession game. Next game, Bulls won at 96-85. And that last one was a blowout. And the last game they faced was 92-90. So every game was close. It could go down to the wire. But I think Chicago will win it in 7 games. 7 games. Next series I want to talk about, we're going all the way to the west. Not San Antonio. OKC versus the Houston Rockets. We all know James Harden, former OKC Thunder. We all know that he's facing his former team. Houston, very excited. I interviewed some people in Houston. They're happy Rockets made the playoffs. So yeah, it's once, it happened. It haven't happened in a long time since So it's gonna be great, I think OKC will dominate the series. The season was OKC won 2 games, Houston won 1, and the 2 games that OKC did win, they dominated. And the 1 game that Houston won, it was a close game, but Houston got the best of it that game. So I think that OKC will win in 5 games. Next game, San Antonio Spurs, who always makes the playoffs, and the LA Lakers, who people didn't think were going to make the playoffs, but they still did. This is going to be a great game because a couple of games ago, LA beat the Spurs without Kobe. So, me personally, I think Lakers have a good chance to beat the Spurs, and I think they will beat the Spurs in 6 games. That's just what I think, and it could go either way, because the season series, Spurs won it, but it could go either way. So, if I had to say, I'd say Spurs win in 7. I'd say Spurs win in 7. Next game I want to talk about is is Denver Nuggets. I love that word, Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets versus the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry playing great, most 3-pointers in a season ever by one player. He got it. That's crazy. Beating Ray Allen, the overall 3-pointer king, who's a former Celtic. I think Denver will win. That's all I really have to say. There's, I think it's a no-brainer. Like, if someone asked me, like, who do you think will win, Denver or Golden State, I wouldn't have any doubts that Denver will win. I think Denver's gonna win. I don't think they'll go far in the playoffs. Maybe get out in the second round, but I don't think they can go anywhere besides getting out of the first round. So Denver just play series by series, game by game, and things will go. So I think Denver will win it in 5 or 6. If I had to say, I would say Denver wins it in 6. All right. Next game, LA Clippers versus Memphis Grizzlies. They faced last year in the playoffs. Grizzlies had a 3-1 series lead. And game 1 of that series, LA came back from what was the score? They were down by like 21 nothing. Or not 21 nothing. Like they were down 20, 21. Something like that. They came back in game 1. They were down in series 3-1. And they lost. So they won game 1. They lost 3 straight games. And then they won 3 straight games to win the series in Game 7 in Memphis, which is great. But this year, I think Memphis will win in Game 7. Because LA, I think they're just all about dunking. I don't think they're about championships. I don't think they can win a championship. CP3, he's a free agent at the end of this year. If they get out the first round or the second round, I think CP3 will leave the Clippers. Probably go somewhere better. Like he could go anywhere. I mean, he could go to the East, he could go to the West, or he could stay in the West. But I think he will stay in the West. I think he'll leave LA though. He could go anywhere. I would like to see him go to Denver. I could see him in Denver because Denver. I mean, they have Ty Lawson. He's a great point guard, but they don't have that key point guard, So I think Denver could use him. Denver's 3 seed right now. If they had CP3, they'd be 1st seed all the way. Well, yeah, Thunder. But if I had to say, I say Memphis wins in 7. Alright, so that is my season. That is my series predictions. Hope you guys like them. NBA playoffs, we all know. If I had to say the final, I would say that comes down to OKC and Heat again. I'd say OKC wins. I don't know. It's just Heat. They don't seem the best in the playoffs. Like you might think what, they won the championship last year, but they took Celtics to Game 7. They beat Indiana in 6 games. I think was it 6 or 5? I think it was 6 games. And first round they beat Knicks in 5. So I mean they're not the best in the playoffs, but they're definitely not the worst. The NFL schedule. Don't think Manning brothers will go off versus each other. Peyton Manning has a couple big games this season. He'll go back to Indiana. Next thing I want to talk about is the Colts, and Wes Welker will go back to New England. A couple big games. We got 2 49ers versus Falcons and Patriots versus Ravens. So those are just a couple big games. More news about the sports world is that Derek Jeter will be out until the All-Star break, probably. That's about 100 games, nearly 100 games, and over 100 days, which is not good for the Yankees, but they're doing pretty good without him so far. NFL draft, I want to talk about more about that this week. I don't want to talk about it right now, though. Because the NBA playoffs, but, I'll be telling you my mock draft, who I think is going to go in the first round, second round, stuff like that. I'll be giving my top 10 picks, so I'll be looking forward to that. And that's it for this morning, so hope you guys like this radio broadcast. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock. What am I saying? 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central Time. I will see you guys tomorrow. So, again, have a great weekend, guys. Have a great Friday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.